Everybody, it's Matt Mayoko to NBC Sports Bay Area checking in with you on a Tuesday morning. 49ers will hit the practice field later today as they start their on-field preparations to face the Los Angeles Rams in a very quick turnaround for both teams. Both teams trying to claw their way back up there toward the top of the NFC West standings, where currently the Seattle Seahawks sit all alone. Okay, on this video, I want to talk more about Deebo Samuel. He had some comments on social media on Monday that kind of raised some eyebrows. So I want to get into that as well as the future. And I'm going to warn you right now. Sorry, folks. It's probably not going to be clickbaitish. I'm not going to say, get him out of here, fire him. The team's better without him. I'm not going to go there. But wait around. You'll hear what I have to say. But first, this video is brought to you by Canyon Club Brewery, located in Moraga, California, and coming soon to the Livery in Danville. Now, the location in Moraga has been around for several years. It's pretty close to where I live, so it's definitely one of my go-to spots. Why is it one of my go-to spots? It's because of the wide variety, right styles of beers they have to select from, as well as a menu that has really a lot of different options, all really good options. I've had the street tacos recently, fish sandwich. There's a lot of good items on that menu that I'm sure will fit anybody's need within your family. So Canyon Club Brewery, located in Moraga, coming soon to the Livery in Danville. I'll keep you posted on that. Okay, so Deebo Samuel's production has not been great this season, but I would say more to the point, it's only not been great over the last four games. But anyway, there's been the narrative, and I've said it too, that Deebo Samuel hasn't produced like he has in the past. And so on social media at around 3 p.m. on Monday, he said, not struggling at all, just not getting the ball. Not struggling at all, just not getting the ball. And I'm assuming a lot of people took that as a swipe at Brock Purdy, the quarterback, the one who's in charge of distributing the football to the playmakers. But then he came back. Let's see, when did he come back? He came back about 30 minutes later, 40 minutes later, and said, just because I voice my opinions don't mean I'm hating on any of my teammates. Be for real. I think that's BFR. Is that right? For real? Be real? I don't know. Let's. I think he's saying just being honest. Um, okay, so let's dive into that. First thing he said is he's not getting the ball. He is getting the ball. 32 carries out of the backfield, only 82 yards. And then the other part is I dropped my glasses. Actually, is it 82 or 92 yards? 92 yards, sorry. And then also 40 receptions for 553 yards. Am I messing this up? Yeah, no, that's right. 32 carries, 42 uh, receptions, so 72 touches on the season. And that is number two on the team behind Jordan Mason. Of course, Mason leads the way with more than double of that because of the 153 rushing attempts he has. So Deebo is getting the ball. He's getting the ball more than any of the team's other wide receivers. 72 touches for him. Juwan Jennings, the 49ers leading wide receiver, has 57 receptions for 774 yards. Um, but I will combat this as far as what everybody's been saying about Samuel not being productive. He started off the season through seven games, and I'm taking out the game against Kansas City where he only played a few snaps and was really suffering and had pneumonia and ended up spending 2 nights in the hospital. But if you take his first seven games of the season, he had 468 yards receiving in those games, and that's an average of 67 yards per game. Over 17 games, that's a pace of 1,100 yards, more than 1,100 yards receiving. So it's not like he started off slowly and he's only gotten worse. Nothing like that at all. However, in his last four games, a total of just 85 yards receiving. And of course, we all can see that the yards as a rusher are down as well. And now his average yards per carry is under 3 yards. And I looked at each of his five rushing attempts in the game on Sunday against the Chicago Bears. And basically, the first three carries that he had in that game, he was bottled up. I didn't see anywhere for him to go. And then in his final two carries, he got 8 yards apiece on those runs. So, do I see anything significantly different with Deebo Samuel this year? I got to be honest, I don't. Um, as far as his speed or anything else, I don't see it, and I do think that for optimistic, looking at it optimistically or looking at it from a standpoint of what is he capable of doing. When the 49ers need a play as a kick returner, who do they put back there? They put back Deebo Samuel to handle kickoffs. And he got opportunities both against Green Bay and Buffalo to open the third quarters of those games. And what did he do? He turned in huge plays, one which was called back against the Packers on Eric Saubert's very questionable holding penalty. And then he had the long return against Buffalo to open the third quarter Sunday night of week 13. Um, so is he struggling? I think he's struggling to produce, absolutely. Now, is he toast? Is he done? Is it time to get rid of Deebo Samuel? I don't think so. He's 28 years old. Next year is the final year of his contract. He will be 29 years old when he starts next season. And frankly, folks, I don't see him going anywhere. And I know the narrative is and the hot take is this is it for Deebo. 49ers need to cut him. They need to trade him. They need to get rid of him. They're better without him. I don't see it that way at all. Next year, the 49ers know they'll have Jawan Jennings and they know they'll have Ricky Pearsall. So those are two wide receivers that they know they're going to have. Of course, others like Jacob Cowing or whatnot. But Brandon Ayuk coming off the ACL, don't know when he's going to be available. He might be available week one for all we know. He might not be available until the midpoint of the season. But I think what we do know is when he comes back, there's probably going to be an acclimation period to get him up to speed, to get him back to the spot that he was in the 2023 season, where he put up the big numbers and earned the big lucrative contract. So what I see with Deebo Samuel is there's no reason for the 49ers to get rid of him. I just don't see it. His cap number for next year is $16 million. And then but what that means is, and then his cap number for the year he's not on the team is $33 million, or that he's not under contract for 2026. His salary next year, his paragraph 5, his base salary for next year is only 1.17 million. That is basically a minimum salary. If they cut him, like all the money that we talk about with the cap, 16 million next year, 33 million the year after that, that's money that's already been paid to him. So that money has already been earmarked, devoted, sent to him. That money is not coming back. So that money is going to count against the cap regardless. It's just a matter of how it counts against the cap. Does it, if he remains on the roster and they don't re-sign him for 2026, it would be 16 million next year, 33 million the year after that. But for next year, you're looking at only $2 million that would be going to Deebo Samuel out of pocket for the 49ers, $2 million that they haven't already paid. And so that would be the 1.17 base salary. And that number comes off of the NFLPA website, the list base salary. And that was a deal that was restructured right before the start of the season. He also is scheduled for $950,000 in bonuses, roster bonus, workout bonus, etc. So I just don't see why the 49ers would get rid of him at this point. I guess they could trade him. That would make sense. At least you're getting something back for him. But what is his trade value going to be when he's entering the final year of his contract? And his salary would be low, so any team getting him would be really taking on a very low base salary. But what would they give the 49ers in return? And then also the 49ers would still be shouldering all that dead money that they've already paid him from the restructure that they did right before this season. So I still think that, I guess it's not a popular opinion. You can tell me in the comments section down below, but I still think that Deebo Samuel, when you look at heck the rest of this season and certainly next season, it's easier to see him as part of the solution and not part of the problem. 49ers have had plenty of problems this season, and Deebo Samuel, the production level hasn't been what the 49ers have come to expect. It's not what Deebo Samuel has come to expect. He says it's because he's not getting the ball. I don't know about that. But I do think that uh, to give up on him and to just not have him part of the 2025 team, in my mind, with the way his contract is structured and the commitment the 49ers made to him right before the start of the season, I just don't think it makes any sense. So that's what I'm saying on this video, and we'll see how the final four games turn out for Deebo Samuel and the rest of the offense. Everybody got involved, it seemed like, with the 49ers offense in week 14 against the Chicago Bears, except for Deebo Samuel. So we'll see. They'll probably need a big game from him Thursday night against the Rams. One point I do want to make about, why has Deebo Samuel's numbers fallen a little bit or a lot? And I would say this. I think that he's not the greatest at beating man coverage, although he did have one of his receptions, a 20-yarder against the Bears' best man coverage cornerback in the game Sunday. I think typically or generally speaking, defenses have played more man coverage against the 49ers this year. That's why Jawan Jennings has excelled. He's very good against man coverage. That's why the 49ers drafted Ricky Pearsall at the end of the first round, is because of his ability to beat man coverage. We haven't seen that yet, I'm sure for a lot of different reasons, but that might also have something to do with Deebo Samuel's decline in numbers, and that maybe he's just not seeing as much zone, but he's always there as kind of the zone buster for that 49ers offense and for Brock Purdy. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe, like. I want to hear your comments. Do you agree? Are you of the camp that says get rid of Deebo? 49ers would be better off in 2025 without him? I just don't see it. All right. That is it for now.